So we'll be developing this queries. So this is the existing database that we have. We'll be developing these queries. So there are 9 queries. We'll develop a form, master form, data form, and we'll develop this report using the database that we have developed before. So this is the database we have developed before, and we're going to be developing the 9 queries here. The first one is to list all the data department records. So we go to query design. The first one requires only the department table. So we add the department table. We drag these fields. We run the query, and that gives us, go back to the design view. You can also have a look at the SQL. So this is not something we're doing in this course. That is the code that is behind the query. And then, we save it, and we call this as Q1. We close it. The second one is to list all the data in the employee table. Create query design. All the employee. So we drag these things here, here. And we again run it. So this was a little interrupted, and I'm resuming again. Right click, save it, call it Q2. Close it. Now I'll develop the third query. I require both the tables. So I'll add department first, the parent one. So I'm going to order this by department name, employee last name, and I'll just randomly add some addresses, and some fields. Right click, save it, call this query 3. Save it, close it. The fourth one is employees who made $50,000 and more. So this is going to be employee table. And my criteria is more than 50,000. I run it. I save it. Call this Q4. I save the file again. I close it. My fifth one is all employees born before 1165. So this is again employee. I run it. So they're all born before 65. I right click and save it. Call this Q5. Save the database and close it. The next one, 6 is employees less than 75,000 and born after 65. Again, they're all employees. So they're making less than 75. And born after 1165. So this is an AND condition. There's only one record that is born after this and making less than 75. I right click, save, and I call this as Q6. This create. The seventh one is similar to 6 except that it is an OR. So this field really depends on the user community as to what fields they want in the query. And I'm just having some of them. So born after 1165 or, so this is in the next line, that is the difference between query 6 and 7. So I'll have many more response because it is an OR. Save it. I call this query 7. Then the next one is between $50,000 and $75,000. Again, what will appear in the query is really decided by the user community as to what they will be using the query for. And here my access allows me the simple language. Don't use commas. Run it. I save it. Call this as query 8. My query 9 is similar to query 8, so I'll make this a copy. I'll paste it and call this query 9. This is my query 9. I'm going to take the design view and now it says that I'm going to have an additional column here. So I'm going to go to the builder, which will be 30% of my salary. So I'm going to go to the builder. I'm going to call this as royalty. No, I'll go to my tables, employee, into 0.3. So I'll write the name. Okay. I'll run it. I'll go back to design view. Properties. Format. Currency. So now I can save it. And so those are my 9 queries. Now I'm going to be doing the main form subform. So go to create form wizard. My parent table is the department table. And so let's say then I have the employee and I'm going to have only some of them. So you can see there are 2 radio sets. There is one here. So I've got my main department, which is CIS, got 2 employees. I can move from 1 to 2. There is another radio set here that I can move from 1 to marketing to finance. So that is my main form subform. I'll save it. I'll close it. And then I'm going to make a report wizard, and I'm going to make a simple one where I'm just going to have my department table. So I've got all of them here. Next, next. And so this can be, you can do many more formatting changes to it. Just save it, save the file here, close it.